you're over 60, stop eating these nuts now. Your kidneys, joints, or even memory might already be suffering. I'm Dr. Dan, and watch till the end and it will surprise you. Number 1. Almonds. You might not realize it, but those almonds in your kitchen, yes, even the ones in your healthy snack drawer, could be part of the reason you're feeling bloated, tight in the belly, or even constipated more often than usual. For adults over 60, the digestive system naturally slows down. The muscles in your gut don't move food as efficiently, your enzyme levels drop, and your kidneys often work with reduced capacity. That makes it harder to flush out certain substances, especially if they're coming in daily. Here's where almonds become a hidden problem. They're everywhere. Almond milk in your cereal, crushed almonds on your yogurt, handfuls of them in the afternoon. They seem harmless, but the problem isn't in how they taste, it's in what they carry inside. According to the National Institutes of Health, almonds are high in oxalates, a type of natural compound found in many plant-based foods. Oxalates bind with calcium inside your gut and may create hard deposits that your body struggles to eliminate. These are called kidney stones, and the risk goes up sharply if you're already dealing with dehydration, poor kidney function, or a low-calcium diet. Now, if you've ever had a kidney stone, you already know how excruciating they can be. But what many seniors don't realize is that even if stones haven't formed yet, high oxalate foods like almonds may silently irritate your gut lining over time. That irritation might show up as gas, cramps, nausea, or the feeling of not being able to go. If you have pre-existing digestive conditions like diverticulosis, irritable bowel syndrome, or slow intestinal movement, the effects can be more intense. Oxalates can also worsen inflammation in the gut if your immune system is already weakened. And let's not forget, as we age, the protective mucus layer in our intestines can thin out, meaning even small irritants can cause big problems over time. Does this mean you need to swear off almonds completely? Not necessarily, but if you're eating them daily, it's worth cutting back, especially if you've noticed any recurring gut discomfort or if your doctor has ever flagged kidney function concerns. If you're looking for safer alternatives, reach for macadamia nuts or walnuts. They're naturally low in oxalates and far easier on the kidneys and digestive tract, especially after 60. They also offer healthy fats that support your heart and brain, which we'll get into later. This video is here to inform, not to diagnose. Always talk to your doctor before making major changes to your eating habits, especially if you're managing chronic conditions. If you've ever had kidney stones or just feel uneasy after eating almonds, comment "okay" if you agree they should be limited, or "no" if you still think they're harmless. Number 2. Hazelnuts. Have you been feeling unusually tired after meals? Maybe a little nauseous, or just not hungry like you used to be? If you're over 60, your liver and kidneys are already doing double duty, and if you're eating Brazil nuts regularly, even just 2 or 3 a day, you might be unknowingly overwhelming them. Brazil nuts have been praised for being rich in antioxidants. But what's often overlooked is the dangerously high level of selenium packed into each one. Selenium is a trace mineral your body needs. But in very small amounts, too much of it might tip the balance from helpful to harmful, especially in aging bodies. Here's the reality. Just one single Brazil nut can contain up to 90 micrograms of selenium. That's already more than 150% of the recommended daily intake. Eat 2 or 3, and you could be pushing your body past what your liver and kidneys can safely handle in a single day. As stated by the Mayo Clinic, too much selenium might lead to nausea, fatigue, or even liver toxicity in older adults who have weakened detox functions. The risks get even higher if you already have conditions like chronic kidney disease, fatty liver, or a sluggish metabolism. In those cases, your body can't clear out the excess fast enough, leading to symptoms that are easy to miss. until they're not. What does selenium overload feel like? For seniors, it may start as mild discomfort, brain fog, brittle nails, hair thinning, or a lingering metallic taste in your mouth. But over time, it can progress into more serious problems involving your liver or digestive tract. If you love crunchy snacks and want something safer, consider switching to macadamia nuts or pecans. Both are rich in healthy fats, but naturally lower in selenium, making them a better fit for senior health tips that support digestion and detox pathways. This information is meant to support your health awareness, not to diagnose or treat any condition. Please speak with your doctor if you have concerns about your diet or symptoms. Number 3. Cashews. You ate your favorite snack mix. 15 minutes later, your belly feels bloated. Your throat itches just a little, and you're not sure why your skin feels flushed. Could it really be the cashews? If you're over 60, even mild symptoms like this might be warning signs your body isn't tolerating certain foods the way it used to, especially cashews. Most people think of cashews as the gentler nut. They're softer, easier to chew, and often added to soups, curries, and trail mixes. But underneath that creamy texture, they carry risks that could quietly affect your digestion, medication response, and immune health. One concern is oxalates, natural compounds found in cashews that may irritate the lining of your gut. Oxalates are known to bind with calcium in your digestive tract. In older adults, this might lead to hard deposits or inflammation, especially if you already have slower digestion, kidney concerns, or a history of stones. But oxalates are only half the story. The real danger for many people over 60 is allergic response. Cashews are among the most allergenic nuts, even more than walnuts or pecans. And for seniors, allergic reactions may appear differently: a slight tightness in the chest, a mild skin rash, or digestive upset that gets mistaken for indigestion. Based on guidance from the American College of Allergy, Asthma and Immunology, cashews are one of the most common tree nuts linked to severe allergic reactions in older adults with undiagnosed sensitivities. There's more. If you're on medications like blood pressure drugs, diuretics, or antibiotics, symptoms from a cashew allergy might be confused with medication side effects or could add to overall systemic stress. Some people also experience cross-reactivity, where cashews may trigger a flare-up in those with a known latex sensitivity or penicillin history. And while cashews are rich in protein and healthy fats, they can be difficult to digest for aging systems. For those with gallbladder issues or acid reflux, cashews might worsen post-meal discomfort. So what can you do? If you've noticed a pattern of belly cramps, gas, or skin irritation after eating trail mix or cashew-based sauces, take a break from them. Switch to pistachios or pecans instead. They're easier on digestion and far less likely to cause immune or gut flare-ups. This content is meant for general information and is not medical advice. Always check with your doctor, especially if you're taking daily medications. Have you ever felt bloated, itchy, or uncomfortable after eating cashews? Comment 3 if that's ever happened to you. Number 4. Pine nuts. You finish dinner and everything tastes bitter, metallic. You brush your teeth, drink water, still there. That strange aftertaste won't go away. If you're over 60, that might not be coincidence. It could be your body reacting to something you ate, specifically pine nuts. These little seeds are often used in pesto, sprinkled on salads, or stored in glass jars for weeks without a second thought. They're marketed as heart-healthy and full of healthy fats. But the danger isn't in the fat, it's in what happens when that fat breaks down. Pine nuts contain a high level of polyunsaturated fats, which are sensitive to air, light, and temperature. When stored too long or outside the fridge, these fats can become rancid, even if the nuts still look fine. Once oxidized, they may release compounds that irritate your digestive system and alter your sense of taste. That's how pine mouth begins. The US Food and Drug Administration has documented pine mouth syndrome as a delayed taste disturbance that may last several days, particularly in older adults with sensitive metabolic response. The symptoms often show up 24 to 48 hours after eating. You may notice a sharp, bitter flavor in your mouth, even when you're not eating. For seniors, this can quickly lead to appetite loss, nausea, and fatigue, especially if you're already managing digestive sensitivity, liver strain, or slow gut motility. And that's not the only issue. Once pine nuts become rancid, they may also trigger inflammation in your gastrointestinal tract. That might lead to bloating, indigestion, or irregular bowel movements, especially if your body has trouble breaking down damaged fats. If you already have a condition like gallbladder disease, acid reflux, or liver congestion, this small nut can cause big disruption. So what can you do? If you still enjoy pine nuts, make sure they're fresh, store them in the refrigerator, and use them within 1 to 2 weeks after opening. If you're unsure how long they've been sitting in your pantry, don't take the risk. Prefer to play it safe? Switch to pistachios. They offer similar texture and heart benefits, but are much more shelf-stable and gentler on digestion. A smart move for your senior health tips. This video is intended for general education only. Please talk with your healthcare provider before making dietary changes, especially if you're experiencing persistent taste disturbances or stomach issues. Number 5. You've been feeling more tired lately. You're eating the same way, moving the same, but something feels off. Your appetite isn't what it used to be, and your stomach feels uneasy after your usual snacks. If you're over 60, the reason might be hiding in plain sight, in the bowl of peanuts on your kitchen counter. Peanuts are one of the most common snacks in American homes. They're affordable, packed with protein, and easy to grab. But here's something you might not know. Peanuts aren't true nuts. They're legumes. And that means they're prone to a problem that most tree nuts don't face: mold contamination. That's where the real danger begins. Stored peanuts, especially in warm or humid conditions, are highly susceptible to developing aflatoxins, natural toxins produced by certain types of mold. These toxins don't always change the flavor or smell of the nut, which makes them hard to detect. The World Health Organization states that aflatoxins, toxins from moldy peanuts, might contribute to liver damage and immune dysfunction, especially in older populations with existing health conditions. For people over 60, this is serious. Your liver is already working harder with age. If you've ever had hepatitis, fatty liver disease, or if you're taking daily medications processed through the liver, aflatoxins might add more strain. Over time, that could lead to fatigue, weight loss, nausea, or even reduced ability to absorb nutrients. Worse still, aflatoxins may not cause immediate symptoms. They build up quietly, damaging liver cells little by little. For older adults with weaker immune defenses, this toxic load might also increase your vulnerability to infections and slow recovery from illness. And if you've ever felt a strange scratch in your throat or a mild rash after eating peanuts, that might be a mild allergic response. Peanuts are also among the top allergens in the US, and allergic sensitivity can develop or worsen later in life, even if you never had an issue before. What should you do? First, don't panic, but be selective. If you buy peanuts, make sure they come from brands that test for aflatoxin contamination. Store them in a cool, dry place, and avoid anything that smells stale, sour, or overly oily. Better yet, switch to alternatives like macadamia nuts or walnuts, which are less prone to mold and easier on your liver and gut. This video is intended for educational use. If you've been eating peanuts regularly and have liver concerns, speak with your doctor before continuing. Do you keep peanuts in your pantry right now? Comment 5 if you're going to check the label or toss them after watching this. Be with me? Now, before we get to the good ones, let's take a quick breath and just remind ourselves of what we've learned. If you're over 60, it's not just about what you eat, but how your body handles it. Almonds might seem harmless, but the oxalates inside could quietly stress your kidneys and digestion. Brazil nuts? Just 1 or 2 might push your selenium way too high, especially if your liver's slowing down. Cashews? For some of you, they may be causing those strange gut flares or even allergic reactions you didn't expect. Pine nuts? When they go stale, they can mess with your taste and your stomach without warning. And those peanuts you've been snacking on for years? If they've been sitting out too long, they might be carrying more than just crunch. They might be adding toxic load to a liver that's already tired. But don't worry. In the next part, we're flipping the script and showing you 5 nuts that your body will actually thank you for. Ones that can help your heart, brain, and digestion stay strong even after 60. Make sure you subscribe to Healthcare so you don't miss the second half of this video. Let's keep going together. But here's the good news. Just because some nuts aren't right for your body doesn't mean you have to give them all up. There are still plenty of options that are gentle on your digestion, kind to your heart, and supportive of your energy as you age. Let's talk about the ones you should be eating, especially if you're over 60. Number 6. Walnuts. You've probably had those moments. You walk into a room and forget why you're there, or you misplace your glasses, only to find them on top of your head. Maybe after meals your belly feels just a bit off, and you're not sure if it's something you ate or just age. But here's the thing, memory slips and digestive troubles don't have to be your new normal. Not if you give your body the right tools to rebuild from the inside out. One of the best places to start? Walnuts. They might look like tiny brains for a reason. These nuts are rich in plant-based omega-3 fatty acids, which help keep the walls of your brain cells flexible and healthy, especially as you age. They also contain compounds that gently soothe low-grade inflammation, not only in the brain, but also along the digestive lining. Research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that walnut consumption in older adults might be associated with improved memory, focus, and reduced inflammation markers in the brain and gut. That means if you've been feeling mentally foggy, or your stomach feels unsettled even after light meals, walnuts might help. And you don't need a lot, just 5 to 7 walnut halves a day. You can crush them into oatmeal, blend into yogurt, or just eat them plain before breakfast. They're soft enough to chew and easy on your stomach when eaten in moderation. Out of all the senior health tips we've looked at, adding walnuts is one of the simplest and most powerful things you can do to support both your memory and your digestion after 60. This is not personal medical advice, just research-backed guidance to help you feel your best. Number 7. Pistachios. You finished dinner hours ago, but your stomach still feels heavy. You lie down early, hoping for a good night's sleep, but end up tossing and turning, maybe waking up at 2 a.m. for no clear reason. If you're over 60, that pattern might feel familiar. And while many seniors try to eat lighter in the evenings to avoid discomfort, it doesn't always work. Sometimes, the issue isn't what you eat, it's what your body needs to settle in for the night. Enter pistachios. These little green gems are more than just a fun snack. They're actually packed with nutrients that can support digestion, calm your system, and even help you sleep better. First, they're one of the only nuts that naturally contain melatonin, the hormone your body produces to signal it's time for sleep. For older adults, natural melatonin levels tend to decline, which may explain why staying asleep becomes harder over time. Second, pistachios are a great source of prebiotic fiber. That means they help feed the good bacteria in your gut, improving digestion and reducing the chance of bloating or gas after dinner. A calm gut means a calmer mind. They also contain lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 antioxidants that help protect aging eyes, a bonus if you're spending time reading or watching screens in the evening. Research from the Sleep Foundation suggests that pistachios contain one of the highest natural levels of melatonin among commonly eaten foods, making them a smart choice for older adults struggling with sleep maintenance. So if you often feel restless after eating or wake up multiple times a night, try this. Enjoy 10 to 15 unsalted pistachios about an hour before bed. They're light, easy to chew, and far more gut-friendly than sugary late-night snacks. Of all the senior health tips I've come across over the years, this is one of the simplest and often overlooked. A handful of pistachios at night might be the nudge your body needs to digest calmly and sleep deeply. This isn't a prescription, but a gentle tip rooted in research, especially for those of you working to improve digestion and sleep after 60. If you've ever had trouble sleeping but feel better after a light evening snack, comment 7 to let us know what works for you. Number 8. Hazelnuts. Have you noticed your skin feels thinner lately? Maybe it bruises more easily, or small cuts take longer to heal. Some days your hands feel a little tingly, like they've just woken up, but they haven't been asleep. These are small signs, but they matter. And if you're over 60, they might be your body's way of asking for a little more support, especially for your nerves and your skin. That's where hazelnuts come in. You might know them from desserts or chocolate spreads, but on their own, hazelnuts are a powerhouse of vitamin E, a fat-soluble antioxidant that helps protect your skin cells and nerve endings from everyday wear and tear. Vitamin E plays a quiet but essential role. It helps stabilize the walls of your cells, improves how signals travel through your nerves, and keeps your skin soft and resilient. Over time, this can mean less irritation, fewer random tingles, and a bit more confidence in your body's ability to bounce back. Research published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry suggests that vitamin E in hazelnuts may help preserve skin hydration and protect nerve cells from oxidative damage in older adults. And here's the good part. It doesn't take much. Just 7 to 10 hazelnuts a day, lightly toasted or raw, can help you meet your vitamin E needs. Try adding them to your morning oatmeal, mixing them into yogurt, or enjoying them as a small afternoon snack. Adding hazelnuts is one of those quiet senior health tips that supports you where it shows, on your skin and in your comfort. Always talk with your doctor if you have circulation issues, numbness, or unexplained skin changes. This video is not medical advice. Number 9. Macadamia nuts. It's late afternoon and your face feels flushed. Maybe your heart's beating just a little faster after lunch, or your arms feel heavier than usual. You take your blood pressure. It's a little high again. If this sounds familiar and you're over 60, it might be time to rethink how you fuel your body, not just cutting back, but adding the right kind of support. Let's talk about macadamia nuts. These rich, buttery nuts are often overlooked because they're high in fat, but the type of fat they contain, monounsaturated fats, can actually help your body rebalance, especially your heart, your blood vessels, and your energy levels throughout the day. Monounsaturated fats work differently. They support smooth blood flow by keeping your vessels flexible, help lower LDL, bad cholesterol, and maintain or raise HDL, good cholesterol. Unlike some nuts, macadamias are also low in compounds that can stress the kidneys, making them a good choice if you're managing multiple conditions. Clinical studies published in the Journal of Nutrition show that a diet including macadamia nuts may help reduce blood pressure and improve cholesterol balance in adults over 55. Even better, just a small serving makes a difference. Around 5 to 6 macadamia nuts a day is enough. You can crush them into your morning oatmeal, sprinkle them into a salad, or enjoy them as an afternoon bite instead of reaching for chips or crackers. Macadamias are one of those senior health tips that quietly support your blood flow and energy without adding pressure to your plate. This video is for education only. Always work with your doctor if you're managing blood pressure, cholesterol, or heart conditions. If you're dealing with high blood pressure or cholesterol and plan to try macadamias after this video, drop a 9 below. Number 10. Pecans. You know the feeling, your knees feel stiff when you first get out of bed, your shoulders don't quite want to move, or your hands feel just a little sore after cooking dinner. It's not sharp pain, just a low-level ache that's always there. If you're over 60, that's common, but it doesn't mean there's nothing you can do about it. Let me introduce you to pecans. These soft, buttery nuts aren't just for pies. They're packed with polyphenols, natural compounds that help reduce inflammation in the body. That's key, because behind many of the aches and stiffness we feel as we age is a slow, quiet buildup of inflammation in the joints and muscles. Pecans also contain healthy fats, vitamin B1, and magnesium, nutrients that work together to ease pressure around the joints, support muscle recovery, and help your cells handle daily stress more efficiently. A study in the Journal of Nutrition found that regular pecan consumption may help lower CRP, a key marker of chronic inflammation, in adults over 60. That means pecans may not stop joint problems altogether, but they might help you move more freely, feel less stiff after resting, or simply make everyday activities a little smoother. You don't need much, just 6 to 8 pecans a day. Try them on top of your oatmeal, tossed into a stew, or paired with soft fruits like banana or pear. They're easy to chew, gentle on digestion, and naturally satisfying. Adding pecans to your daily rotation is one of those senior health tips that works quietly, helping ease tension in the background while you go about your day. This is general information, not medical advice. Always check with your doctor if you're managing inflammation, arthritis, or joint issues. So, if you've been thinking, what can I actually do to feel better? Here's your gentle reminder. It doesn't take a lot. Maybe it's starting your day with a few walnuts to help your mind feel clearer, or reaching for pistachios at night when sleep feels far away. A handful of hazelnuts might be just what your skin and nerves have been waiting for. Macadamias? Quietly working in the background to support your heart. And those soft, rich pecans? Helping your joints breathe a little easier. One small handful, one small change every single day. Bonus tip: beware the fridge trap. You bought good nuts, you avoided the wrong ones, you even switched to the best kinds for your heart, your memory, and your digestion. But there's one last thing most people overlook: where you keep them. If you're over 60 and you've been storing your nuts in the fridge without sealing them tightly, you might be doing more harm than good. Most nuts contain natural oils. These oils are delicate, and when exposed to moisture, fridge odors, or even just air, they can slowly break down. What starts as a healthy snack can quietly become a source of rancid fat or even cross-contamination from nearby raw meats, seafood, or overripe fruit. And here's the problem: spoiled nuts don't always smell bad. Some might just have a faint bitter edge, or leave you feeling bloated or nauseous after eating. For seniors whose digestion is already more sensitive, this can trigger gas, discomfort, or even mild inflammation without ever knowing the real cause. Here's what to do instead. Store nuts in an airtight glass jar. Keep them away from foods with strong smells. And if you freeze them, let them come back to room temperature in a sealed container to avoid condensation. That moisture, it's what mold and bacteria love most. These small details matter, especially when you've worked hard to choose the right foods. You've already made great decisions. Let's make sure your storage habits protect them too. This is part of your bigger senior health tips toolkit. Small things that make a real difference over time. The information I'm sharing here is for educational and reference purposes only. It's not intended to replace medical advice or a professional diagnosis. To stay safe and protect your health, always consult a healthcare professional before making any changes.